Hey guys, it's time to touch on yet another social justice warrior topic. I have touched on this a couple times briefly in videos, but I have never straight up explained it fully. Additionally, I think it's important that I start doing that a bit more often because the SJW plague is spreading, and if we don't put a stop to it, which I don't think is possible by the way, unfortunately, but I'm still gonna say, if we don't put a stop to it, it is gonna take over the world. And I do believe that civilization as we know it is actually going to die. That may seem like a joke, but it's not. If you have put in enough thought into what's been going on with these people over the last few years, we can see that our civilization is dying. Everything, free speech is dying, people can't speak anymore, a lot of things that people enjoy are going away, holidays are starting to be removed. Because SJWs find offense in every holiday. They find offense in Mother's Day because you can't say mother anymore. They find offense in Father's Day for the same reason. They find offense in Valentine's Day because single people are singled out. They find offense in Halloween because people dress up as other cultures or people. They find offense in Christmas because people who don't celebrate Christmas are left out. They find St. Patrick's Day. They find New Year's Eve. They find everything offensive, and they want to change everything, and they want to take away the concept of being a human being because they don't like gender and reproductive organs, and they are in general ruining society, and all of these things are going to keep growing, and if you people don't really look at it in a more serious light, they are going to take over the world and destroy our entire civilization before you even know it. But as far as this video is concerned, let's get into the topic. I'm going to explain to you one of the most insane SJW retardation things, which is called cultural appropriation. So what is cultural appropriation? Well, the SJW definition is cultural appropriation is when somebody does something or wears something from a different culture. So for example, I am a white Italian man, but if I decide to eat fish, I am appropriating the Portuguese culture. Or if I decide to wear clothing, like, I don't know, Chinese clothing, like that girl who wore that Chinese dress to her prom, that was a recent controversy. I would be called racist because I, like her, would be appropriating Chinese culture. If I eat tacos, I am appropriating Mexican culture and I am therefore racist. I cannot do things that are outside of my white Italian roots, or they think it's racist and you are appropriating other cultures. Now, what is it in reality? Well, in reality, it is merely just human beings doing things that other cultures do by their tradition because us other people simply enjoy it or want to, respect that culture. For example, if I eat tacos, I am not appropriating Mexican culture, I am merely eating tacos because I like tacos, and I like Mexican culture, and I like Mexican food, and I am respecting Mexican food by eating it and enjoying it. If I wear clothing, like that girl who wore that Asian dress, if I wear some Asian clothing, or any culture's clothing, I am merely wearing that clothing because I like that clothing. I think that clothing looks very nice, and I respect the Asian culture for making that clothing as part of their tradition, and I am merely wearing it because I like it, and I am paying respect to that culture by wearing their clothing, or doing whatever it might be. That's the reality. People just enjoying other people's cultures, and you gotta love how fucking backwards ass SJWs are. I mean, I could scream that from the rooftops and nobody's gonna turn their head like, what? That's so shocking. Everything they do is backwards, we've already established that. But this one is actually more backwards than anything else. They want people, especially white people, because they hate white people obviously, they want white people to respect other people's cultures, yet we're not allowed to do things or eat food or wear clothing or whatever that is from another culture. So what they basically do is they take especially white people and put them in a box where no matter what side they take, they can call them racist. If we use Mexican food, for example, like I said before, if I don't eat tacos, I'm disrespecting their culture and ignoring their traditions. But if I do eat tacos, I am appropriating their culture. That girl in the prom dress, I'm sure if she wore a very traditional white girl dress, they would say, look at that racist, only wearing clothes from her own culture. But she wore a dress from a different culture. Look at her appropriating that other culture. She doesn't have the right because she's white and not Chinese. They put white people in a box in basically everything. That includes the gender stuff and all that crap. That no matter what you do, you're racist. Well, you're not actually racist. SJWs just like to find things to complain about, and they want to call white people racist all the time, no matter what they do or no matter what side they take, because everything in their mind is wrong. Cultural appropriation is one of the worst aspects of SJWism, simply because it is first of all, to SJWs, it's counterproductive to them, like I just explained, and it's also disgusting. Like, why shouldn't I be allowed to enjoy things from a different culture or a different tradition? Whether it be food, clothes, or even a festival that they like, you know? Every culture has festivals that, you know, they engage in. And if I want to go to a Portuguese festival, or if I want to go to an Indian festival, I should be allowed to. If I want to go, it's not to insult their festival or their traditions. It is to be engaged in their traditions and try to learn about what they do, what they like, what are their traditions, what kind of things do they enjoy doing, what are their, whatever it is, their music, whatever it is, because I merely want to see what it is and I want to learn about it. But of course, SJWs have to put their foot in and say that I'm racist if I don't do it, and I'm racist if I do it. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, SJWs, I said at the beginning of the video, and I've also explained this in a different video, but they even ruined Halloween. There was also another controversy that you may not remember, but it was the controversy about there was a white girl who liked Moana, and she dressed up as Moana for Halloween. The girl was white, Moana is not white. So she was told that she was appropriating native culture because Moana was a Native American, I believe. So the white girl was called a racist for dressing up as Moana. And here's the hilarious thing. If that girl was to say, okay, I'll dress up as a very traditional white princess that I like Cinderella, SJWs would come out and scream, oh, she's dressing up as Cinderella because she's trying to show that she's rich and beautiful and famous or something. It's unbelievable. I also like how SJWs believe that brown people or black people or Asian people or whatever, they are allowed to do things that white people do, and it's not racist or it's not appropriating our culture. But white people can't do the things that other people do. So they technically are okay with cultural appropriation, a definition or a terminology that they made up. They are okay with it as long as everybody except white people are doing it. So it's not really about cultural appropriation, it's about white people appropriating culture. They left out the white people thing because they don't want people to know their real motives. But that's how fucking disgusting it is. Like, how the fuck can you be so stupid to say that I'm appropriating a culture and being racist to that culture because I'm trying to honor and respect the traditions of that culture? But then again, the more that I talk in this video, the more I realize that they don't really care about cultural appropriation. They just don't like the fact that white people are doing it, because they're perfectly fine if a black person enjoys Mexican culture, or an Indian person enjoys Portuguese culture, or if a Chinese person enjoys Italian culture, or if I can go on and on and on, but you get the point. It's not about people enjoying other cultures, it's about white people doing it. So that's what cultural appropriation is. To summarize, it is a term that does not exist. It is a term that is not racist. It is a term that needs to be completely abolished. And it is another term that is a result of the mental illness that is referred to as social justice warriors, aka neoliberals. And it's disgusting. And I'm warning you now, because how often am I wrong on this channel, really? It is going to keep getting worse, and to our culture, not white people, but our worldwide culture, is completely destroyed. Because I genuinely believe, and lots of evidence to back it up, and reasons why, that SJWs do want to destroy all white people.